Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Tonight we're going to play with Bsky and the API, and we're going to use Spring Boot to connect to the Bsky API. And of course, yeah, if you probably know what Bsky is. It's like Twitter or X, just without all the noise. And I have deleted my X account or my Twitter account, and then I've created Bsky instead, and I've not regretted it at all. It is just, it's very nice, and there's also, of course, it's a bit smaller right now, so there's the people here, they're quite nice, and yeah, you can try it out. If you haven't tried it out yet, then yeah, then try it out. But this video will be about the API and how to connect to it. Bsky has a cool API. Unfortunately, they don't have a Java library right now. All the documentation only supports Python and TypeScript, and but fortunately, they actually give us all the curl commands right here. That means that then we can actually take these curl commands, we can convert them into something in Spring Boot, and then we can actually create our own Java library from that actually. But I have a Spring Boot application right here, so I've created this application by pressing new project. Then I chose the Spring Boot right here. Then I chose Java. I chose Gradle this time, and yeah, Java 23. Press next. I added the Spring Web, and I added Lombok also. And that's actually all that I've added in this project right here. I chose Spring Boot 3.4.0, which is fine for our purpose right here, and that is also the latest. So the first thing we need to do when we need to communicate with the Bsky API is that we need an identifier, and that is actually the username. So for me, I have my username right here. So my profile, if I press profile right here, then I have an identifier, which is mike-programmer.bsky.social. And you can see right now I have not created any posts yet. That's actually not true, because I have tested my code. So I've actually created one post, and I've deleted this post again, because I want to create one post through the API. That is what the purpose and the success criteria for this video right now is. So, but you have to copy this part right here, place it in an environment variable so no one can see it. Or it's not that secret, but what is secret is your password. So you have to use your password also, and place that. I've placed it in an environment variable. Of course, you can also place it in some kind of vault. This video will not cover vault, but if you can just search on my channel and you can search for vault, then there are multiple solutions for that, where HashiCorp Vault is a good choice, but there's also the vaults like Secret Manager if you're playing around with Google Cloud, and Amazon and Azure also have their own vaults systems. But for now, just add your if you want to follow this video, then you can follow. I have set my password as an environment variable, and I've also set my identifier as an environment variable, so you will not be able to see it in the code directly. So, but the first thing that we need to do is we need to log in. When we have logged in, then we will receive a JWT, a Java Web Token, and that is the token that we need to use for executing the following tasks, like create a post. So I have this login service right here. Let me just see if I can. Go to present mode right here, window, present. No, I've forgotten the shortcut key. I had some shortcut key to increase I want to increase the front out on the right side and the left side right here, so you can actually see what's going on. Appearance right here. Let's just go to font size right here, and then we say, not for the editor, but for the, let's see what happened now. That was for the editor. Appearance right here. Let us just use custom font. Go for 16 maybe. Apply. Yes, much better. So now we can actually see what's going on. So we have in the left side, we have all of our classes right here, and we have a login service, which is right here. And let us go through that to begin with, because we need the login service so we can actually log into to Bsky. And Bsky has something called a PDS host. And if you don't know, Bsky is actually decentralized, so there can be decentralized hosts that can be that you can connect to. But if you don't know, if you don't want to connect to any decentralized host, but just want to connect to the central host, then you can connect to bsky.social right here. So my host so the host that I'm using right now is HTTPS, or that is the URL. The beginning of the URL is HTTPS, and then bsky.social, and then we have the rest of the URL on the second line right here. And you can see for all of the services that I'm creating, that I'm reusing this variable right here, PDS host, and then I am setting this URL right here, and all of these URLs are some that I found in the documentation. And if you want to use a documentation, and then a good place to start is the get started right here. And here you can actually see this is and then you go to curl, you press curl if you want to do something with Java, because then you can actually see what is going on. There's a header. There's a header that says content type equal to application JSON. And then you have an identifier. We have to send a password also. So this is where we use the environment variables. So let's go back to our Java program and do exactly that. So here we have the identifier. And again, we are taking these system environment variables. I've named mine Bsky _ identifier. And my password is placed in Bsky _ password. So then when you have the identifier and the password, then you can actually create some data to posts, and then you can create a map, which is identifier and the passwords, but with an identifier and password, and with those values right here. And that is because when we convert this map into JSON, then it will be converted directly into this piece of JSON right here, like an identifier and then a value, and then password, and then another value, of course. So, and that is JSON that does that. It does that automatically for us. We do not have to think about it. We just create our REST template right here. We create a new REST template right here. And then we create a request. Our request is made with post. We need to post. That is the HTTP method right here. So an easy way to create a new request entity is to use the builder method post right here, and then the URL, the total URL that you need to use. And then you can add some headers also, like the content type, and then set that to application JSON. You can also add some body. That is the data to post. And if no matter which type you actually have, this will be converted by JSON into JSON. That is quite cool, yeah. And then I have objects require non-null. That's because I just want to, if my body is null, then I want the exception to be thrown right here. Of course, we want to fail as soon as possible in our code. Then it's much easier to debug. So that's just why we have this objects require non-null right here. So we have the REST template exchange. It takes a request, and then it wants a return type. We want all of the data that is being returned. We want that as a map, so then we can easily get the JWT token afterwards. So we are saying get body, and then we say get access JWT token, and then we want to string on that one because it's an object. We actually don't need to have this product. Yeah, we do actually. So get the object, and then we should get something right there. Okay, so how do I know that it's actually that this is the name of the field that we want, access JWT? That is because first, actually, instead of getting a map, right here, then I wrote string. So first I got the string out, and then I added that on the examples. I actually like in my project to have a folder named examples or something like that. And here I add the JSON that is being returned from the API that I integrate to, because then I can always find out, what is, then I can always find an example very easily to this third-party system right here. I've written 3 dots instead of the real access JWT token. Of course, this token would be have expired right now. I think there's default expiration on these tokens right here. So that means that you will get an access JWT and then a refresh JWT. The refresh JWT is of course used if you want to refresh the token and you don't want to provide username and password again. Then you can say, hey, please refresh my token. Then you will get another access JWT, and then you can use that access JWT to continue in your application flow. All of the rest right here, that's just extra metadata that you will also get bonus data. I don't know what to do with it actually. It's just, also known as my programmer, Bsky Social. There's also an ID. yeah, I'm not using any of the other data. This is just what the return type will look like. And then there's an email address. And it is active, yes. But what we need is the access JWT right here. But we have that token. So first of all, I've created a test that actually proves that this works. So I have my login service test right here. It's not a Spring Boot test. Why is it not a Spring Boot test, Mike? That is because it takes longer. If you create Spring Boot test, then you need to spin up your Spring context. Then you have to wait for the web server to start. And I'm impatient, of course. So I'm just creating a new login service instance right like this because I'm not injecting. You will see my login service right here. It's actually not. It doesn't have anything injected to it. So I can just create a new instance with the default constructor, and then I can use it just out of the box like this. So like I can log in, then I can get my response. The response in this situation is the token. And let us just run, and we are just asserted it's not null. I'm not printing it out, but you can just have to imagine that what it looks like. Maybe yeah, let's see. Actually, sometimes I have made some printouts in the code anyway. So, but it's okay. My test is green, so I know I got something back. I got a string back, and it is not null. So I know so much right now. And of course, if I was not recording, then I would have also printed it out maybe, so I could see the result. And if you want to print out, you can use, of course, system out. So you can write system out like this, or you can actually add add SL4J if you have SL4J. Actually, you cannot do that in test, I think. Did I forget to add that? No, it's because it's a test. Yeah. So of course you can also use the default log4j format, log or something like that, or SL4J. If you're in the code, then you can actually add something like this. Then you can add SL4J like this, and then you can call the logger if you want to. And then you can like write something logged in. So then you can add some logging, so you can actually see what's going on in your application flow when you're running your tests. Okay, so that was so. Let us say that the login works. We will pretend that it does, and of course it does actually. I tried this just before, so it does. Now then we need to create a new post. So here I have a new post service, and again I have copied paste. This is from the documentation. So this is the documentation that says that you have to curl this. You have to curl a bearer, and then the JWT token that we just got. You have to add to the header application JSON. And you have to add, this data right here, repo. That is the Bsky handle that you want to use. And in this situation right here, I am using my identifier. So the repo is equal to my identifier. That's equal to me. Then I have a collection right here. That is the what is that actually? That is that we want we want to create a post under the feed, and then we have a record that we want to set. So the record. That is actually inside the record. That's actually an object. It's a JSON object, and here we have the text. And of course, you could just add hello world, just like the example does, and then you have to. Okay, there was actually something that was a little bit difficult right here. So you have this created ad right here. It needs to be in the ISO 8601 format or something like that. Let's just go right here. It's 8601 for the ISO 8601 format. That's what you need to use right here. And it needs to be zoned. So you need the zoned date time right here. And then I'm just getting now, and then I'm formatting this in this format right here. And if you do that, then Bsky will be happy, and it will allow you to create your posts. I'm creating my REST template right here. Then I'm exchanging the data right here. This time I'm not. This time I'm just I'm placing it all in. On one line actually right here. Of course it's multiple lines, but it's you can see I have my semicolon right here. So it means I'm exchanging, and then I'm creating my request entity right here, and I'm creating that with the builder method post. So we have the post right here and the URL. Then we have the headers, and the headers are created a bit differently this time. I just want to say I also have the body right here. That is the map that we have right here. Of course, you could make this type safe. You could actually make a class that matches this repo collection record, and then you could then you could actually post that instead of posting a map. It's just easier with a map, and especially when you are playing around and creating demos, then maps are fine, right? So, but here we have a headers right here, and the headers are created from the header generator service. The header generator service, and that is the service that I've created myself. So this is my own class, and it takes a token. So first we call login service login, then we get a token, then we give that to the header generator service. And here we are creating a new authorization. And here we add bearer, and then we add the token. And then we also add that the content type is application JSON. It's because I don't want to write this code all the time. And of course, in this video, we will just call the create post. We will create one post, but I will create more videos about the Bsky API, where we will do some more stuff. So let's go back to the new post service right here. So Mike, let us see it work now. Now you've talked a lot. Run it and then create a post so we can see it actually works. So we take some content as part of this method right here, create post, and that is actually what is going to be posted, because you can see right here we have the text and the content. And let us jump to the test and then add us something right here. So we have this is a test, and again, I'm not using Spring Boot, of course. If I use Spring Boot, then I would see that my injection worked, like the new headers, the header generator service worked, also my login service. But I can also do like this. You can see this is actually the good thing about having constructor injection. It's very, very easy to create your tests, and you don't have to rely on Spring Boot's in injection. You can just inject them yourself. The header generator service doesn't have any dependencies. It doesn't have any injections. The same with the login. Same with the login service right here. So that's quite easy. Just say new login service, and then that's good. So then we call create posts, and then we make it. This is multi-line string right here. Of course, So we can just keep the text right here. This post is made from Bsky API. Just testing it out using Java, by the way. Timestamp, and then we add the local datetime now as the timestamp right here. That is inside the body, so that means that this does not need to follow that ISO 8601 format. This is just part of the body. We can write whatever we want to write here. And demo 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just write this just so you can see that it's actually the real deal. And here then we're printing out the response, and we assert that the response is not blank. So let us try that, and then we will see what happens. Let's see if we can create a new post. Yes, we are green at least, and here we have here's the response. Blah blah blah. I have cheated already, so I have new post response is up here. So this is the response we have. We get a URI back, and we get a and we get an ID. We get a lot of information right here. Validation status valid. So I guess this it is valid, so that is a good thing. Let us go to the browser and let us go to Bsky and see if it actually is there. So I'll press home. I'll press profile, and I will see one post now. Now I have one post. And if I refresh, look. So this post is made from Bsky API. Just testing out using Java, by the way. Demo 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have the timestamp, which is not formatted. That is quite cool, right? This is cool. It's so easy to use the API. And the code is as usual. It's available on my GitHub account. So just go there and get the code if you want to play with this yourself. You just need to. The only thing you need to do is to set environment variable identifier and also the password. And that's it. This is really awesome. Let us just create one more just for fun. So we'll create one more message. So we'll say another message. Eat vegetables. Yes. Run the test. And it is green. So let's go back. We'll press post again. Now we have two posts, another message, eat vegetables, and the timestamp once again. That is quite cool. And of course, you can clean them up when you have made some of these posts and you found out that you actually don't want these weird posts in your beautiful new Bsky account, and you can just go and delete them one by one. Or you could use maybe the API to delete them. But that is for another video. That's not for now. I want to thank you very much for watching and have a great evening. And thank you very much for all of your comments. They mean a lot. It's always fun to get comments from around the world. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.